Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a 12-year-old boy, right? He's carrying this immense weight, not just for one world, but multiple worlds. And he's on this desperate quest to save someone he loves.
And the stakes are just enormous. We're talking life, death, sure, but also the very fabric of reality. It's not just crossing borders, it's crossing dimensions.
Exactly. So today, we're diving deep into that.
We are. We've got excerpts here from Stephen King and Peter Straub's big epics, The Talisman and Black House, huge novels.
They're dense stuff.
Definitely. And our mission really is to pull out the key pieces from all this material. We want to understand how these two realities, ours and this other place, how they connect, how they intertwine.
And how it all impacts this one kid, right? This 12-year-old Jack Sawyer.
Precisely. The personal journey, the courage involved, what it tells us about, well, good versus evil, maybe.
So let's start with Jack. We first meet him at Arcadia Beach. His life's already been hit hard. His dad's gone, his Uncle Tommy too recently. And his mom, Lily, she's really sick.
Yeah, gravely ill. She used to be an actress. And the sources, they really paint this picture of a constant sense of dread around him.
Death and fear, yeah. Even normal days feel kind of dreamlike, the text says. Like he can almost smell death on the breeze. It's heavy stuff for a kid.
It really sets the stage for the journey he's about to take. It's not coming out of nowhere. #1, the gateway to the terrifying and the terrific.
Okay, so this is where things start getting strange. And really interesting, Jack meets this old janitor, Speedy Parker, at Fun World, this deserted amusement park.
And Speedy seems to know him, like from years before when Jack was 6, which shouldn't be possible, right?
Right. It's the first big clue something else is going on. And Speedy, he's the one who tells Jack about the territory.
She spills the secret.
Yeah.
And gives him this magic juice, he calls it, to help him get there.
With the catalyst.
Exactly. And the key thing here is how the territories are framed. It's not, just some imaginary place. It's presented as a real parallel world.
Okay.
A mirror, but different.
And Speedy's role.
He's crucial. Described as the light in these polarities, maybe some kind of guardian keeping things balanced.
Interesting. And it turns out Jack's dad and his uncle, Morgan Sloat, they knew about this place too.
They did, called them daydreams. And get this, they actually talked about using its magic instead of science, coupled with modern weapons.
Oh, what?
For, and this is a direct quote, fucking clout, just raw power.
Wow. Okay. So Jack takes the juice and he flips. What's that like?
It's a total sensory overload described in the text. Suddenly the smells are incredibly rich. Horses, grass, meat, dust, everything sharper, clearer.
And distances are different.
Yeah, much smaller. Speedy tells him, basically you'll do most of your traveling there because it's quicker, covers more ground. His whole sense of reality just shifts,
And right away, the personal connection becomes clear. He meets Captain Farron, this scarred warrior type.
Loyal to the queen.
And then he sees her, Queen Laura Deluation. She's incredibly sick.
And that's the moment. He realizes she's his mother's twinner, her exact double in this other world.
Their lives linked. So saving the queen means
saving his mom. Instantly, his personal grief becomes this huge, world-spanning quest. The stakes just shoot up.
But it's not just about saving them. There are forces working against him, too.
Oh, absolutely. We meet Osmond pretty quickly, described as skeletally tall and thin, wears these, mirrored sunglasses.
And he's connected to Morgan Sloat.
Definitely. He's called crazy, nuttier than a damned fruitcake in the text, but he's dangerous, represents that corrupting influence of power.
How so?
Well, he uses a whip, makes accusations against Jack, and we see the effects in this village. All hands, everyone's just drunk, out of it on Kingsland Ale.
Now, this is the territory's drink.
Yeah, seems to make people passive, controllable maybe, and there's this grim scene, overturned wagon, dead horses, smashed kegs. It hints at the conflict, the decay that figures like Osmond and Sloat are spreading.
So it's clear, this is way bigger than just Jack's personal mission. There's a real darkness he's up against. #Tech2. Faces of fear and friendship. So Jack manages to get away, but then he flips back to our world, finds himself in Angola, New York, and it's a shock.
A huge contrast. The source mentions the immediate stink of gasoline, other nameless poisons, just this overwhelming chemical smell after the richness of the territories.
And he's exhausted. But it's more than that, isn't it? He's lost time.
A lot of time and distance,
Yeah.
like 100 miles or more, and just about 4.5 days have just vanished for him during the flip.
That must be incredibly disorienting.
Completely. It really drives home how unpredictable and, frankly, dangerous these jumps are. There's a real cost.
And where he lands, Oatley, New York. It doesn't sound much better than where he left.
No, it's described as a horrible trap, a municipal pitcher plant, easy to fall into, hard to get out of. It shows that our world can be just as nightmarish, you know?
Especially under someone like Smokey Updike.
Ugh, yeah. This guy, Smokey, runs the town, basically. Violent, dirty yellow eyes, according to the text, just pure menace. Jack ends up working for him at the Oatly Tap.
Ant's brutal. Smokey hits him.
He does, and Jack makes another disturbing connection. The terrible ale they serve there, the Queen's Own, it's the same stuff as the Kingsland Ale from the territories. It's twisted for this world.
Same control, different dimension.
Exactly. And then the horror ramps up even more. He runs into this thing, an Elroy thing, like a wergoat creature.
From the territories. Here.
Yeah. It nearly gets him. He barely escapes, but flipping back to the territories just in time. It's terrifying. Shows the borders are thin and the danger can cross over.
When he gets back to the territories, he finds help. Unexpected help.
Yes. Wolf. Such a fantastic character. He's huge, looks like a wolf man, wears bib overalls, looks intimidating, but he's actually incredibly gentle.
And he has this ability.
He can smell things others can't, including illness. He smells the death, the cancer on Jack's mother, Lily, even across worlds.
Which must be heartbreaking for Jack.
Absolutely. It makes his mother's illness completely real, undeniable, confirms just how urgent his quest is. Wolf solidifies that reality for him.
And Wolf is fiercely loyal to Jack, but he struggles in our world.
Deeply. He calls it the country of bad smells. All the noise, the cars, it terrifies him. There's a scene where a car speeds past and he just howls, clinging to Jack.
And he has this change.
Yes, during the full moon, he becomes more bestial, potentially dangerous. So he insists on being locked up to protect Jack, who he calls his herd.
Based on some kind of lore?
Yeah, it connects to the Book of Good Farming in the territories, this story about the wolf who would not injure his herd. It really underlines his deep-seated nobility, his devotion, and it kind of foreshadows, well, what's to come, #tag 3, the price of knowledge and loyalty.
So this loyalty, this bond, it gets tested severely. They end up captured, right?
Yeah, they land in the Sunlight home in Indiana, run by this guy, Reverend Sunlight Gardener. Sounds nice, but...
It's anything but. The sources describe it as just awful. Forced confessions, straitjackets.
Right.
The box.
Solitary confinement, basically. It's this oppressive, cruel institution. A real trial for Jack, forcing him to see how evil can hide behind, a mask of goodness.
And Gardner himself.
Oh, he's pure hypocrisy, sadistic.
Yeah.
Another kid there, Rudolph, calls him a devil from hell. Plain and simple.
There's a scene with a lighter.
Yeah, Gardner uses a lighter, threatens Jack with it during an interrogation, gets this creepy, hazy, happy look in his eyes. He enjoys the cruelty.
Jack makes a friend there, though. Ferd Janklow.
Right. Ferd,
Yeah.
cynical kid, but he knows the score, knows Gardner's a smart nut, knows how bad the place really is, provides a bit of grounding reality, grim as it is.
But the core of this section is Wolf.
Absolutely. Wolf's loyalty shines through. He defends Jack, physically puts himself between Jack and danger, and ultimately, well, he transforms, goes full wolf.
To protect Jack.
To protect his herd, he fights ferociously, causes chaos, allows Jack to escape, but he doesn't make it out.
He sacrifices himself?
He does. His last words are, "I kept my herd safe." It's utterly heartbreaking. The whole place burns down afterwards, which feels like this violent cleansing, but the loss for Jack is immense. Changes everything for him.
So Jack's alone again, but carrying that memory, Wolf's shadow, as the text says. Where does he go next?
He seeks out an old friend, Richard Sloat. They were kids together. Richard's now at Thayer School.
And Richard is Morgan Sloat's son. The bad guy's son.
Exactly. Which creates immediate tension. Richard, at first, is completely rational. A total skeptic. He rejects anything that sounds like fantasy, like the territory.
Why? Is it just his personality?
It seems deeper, connected to his dad. There's a sense he has trauma tied up with his father, making him shut down any possibility of these daydreams being real. It's like a defense mechanism.
But something changes his mind.
Drastically. He starts seeing things he can't explain. Glowing eyes outside his window. And the big one, he sees this impossible, gigantic hourglass inside a rail yard office, the depot at the school.
Something he knows he didn't imagine.
Right. He says, I couldn't have made up something like that. It completely shatters his skepticism. He's forced to confront it.
And he eventually admits why he was so resistant.
Yeah, it's a really powerful moment. He confesses he was scared that if he accepted the territories were real, it would mean not being able to love my father anymore.
Wow. Because his father is so tied up in that other world's darkness.
Exactly. It shows the huge emotional cost of this knowledge, wrestling with Truth versus loyalty, especially family loyalty. It adds this really deep psychological layer to Richard's journey. Hashtag tag 4, the darkening path to destiny.
So now Jack has Richard alongside him, a reluctant believer, and the focus shifts more towards Richard's father, Morgan Sloat.
Yeah, his true nature really comes in focus. He's not just Jack's dad's ruthless business partner, he's actively malevolent.
And his twinner in the territories, Morgan of Orris, he's described as a pirate.
Right, wielding a lightning rod. It paints him as this swashbuckling but sinister figure. And Richard starts remembering things, repressed memories about a place called Camp Readiness and this black hotel in Point Venuti.
Connecting the dots.
It confirms this conspiracy orchestrated by Morgan, stretches across both worlds, and it's picking up speed. The danger feels much more immediate.
And we see how Sloat's actions in our world connect to the territories.
Definitely. There's an incident mentioned, like the violent eviction of a Chinese restaurant. It seems small, but it mirrors his larger ambition in the territories that desire for fucking clout, for total control. He's driven by the same greed and ruthlessness everywhere.
And their journey physically reflects this darkness. They enter the blasted lands.
Yes, a really grim part of the territories. It's described almost like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Apparently, it mirrors nuclear test sites in our world in Utah and Nevada.
So it's corrupted land.
Totally corrupted. Stunted trees, deformed dogs, even a humanoid figure with a reptilian tail. It's a physical manifestation of the evil that Morgan represents, poisoning the very land itself.
And traveling through this place affects Richard physically.
It does. He starts getting the symptoms of flipping red blotches, itching, becomes delirious, just like his father used to experience, apparently.
Well, Jack has to protect him now.
Yeah, Richard becomes the herd. Jack has to step into that protector role like Wolf did for him. It really cements their bond in a powerful, difficult way.
And they discover what Sloat is actually planning.
They find this train carrying crates marked machine parts, but inside, it's weapons, high-tech stuff.
Not for our world.
No. It confirms Morgan's plan is to arm his forces in the territories. He calls his human mercenaries wolves with an F, not to be confused with Jack's friend. He's planning a violent takeover.
It's all building towards a confrontation. Where do they end up?
Point Venuti. This run-down town, totally dominated by the Black Hotel, the Agincourt, it feels like the endgame location.
And Speedy Parker shows up again.
Yes, or Parkus, as he's known there. He meets Jack on the beach, gives him this inflatable raft, looks like a horse, and a final stark warning.
What's the warning?
Basically, the talisman is everything. It's the only hope left to save Lily and Queen Laura. If Jack fails, it means black horror in both worlds. No pressure, right?
None at all. And he has to get to the hotel.
Through the water, under the pier, navigating past monsters. It's like one last terrifying challenge before the final showdown. Hashtag tag 5, the heart of all worlds.
Okay, so Jack makes it. He gets inside the Agincourt, the Black Hotel. What's it like?
It's completely surreal. Realities are literally overlapping. Stone walls melt into mahogany paneling. It's disorienting, dreamlike, but also dangerous.
He faces enemies inside.
Armored knights. But Jack isn't helpless anymore. He uses that guitar pick Speedy gave him way back at the start.
The pick, what does it do?
It glows, gives him this feeling of brain-busting triumph, allows him to overcome the knights. It's like his own power is finally awakening.
And he confronts Osmond again.
Yes, the creepy courtier. There's this emotional climax where Osmond taunts him, reveals that Rule Gardener, Sunlight Gardener is dead. But then Jack defeats Osmond. A real, tangible victory against one of the key villains.
But the main goal is the talisman. What is it exactly?
Well, this is where it gets really mind-bending. It's not just a cure, not just a magical object. The source calls it the axle of all possible worlds, but the worlds themselves.
What?
Yeah. The worlds and the spaces between those worlds. It's like the central point holding everything together, all realities.
So getting the talisman isn't just about his mom anymore. It's about everything.
Everything, which makes the final confrontation with Morgan Sloat even more intense. Sloat shows up, looking completely grotesque now, disfigured by his own power grabs.
And he attacks Jack.
With his key, summoning lightning, raw, destructive power. But Jack has the talisman.
What does he do?
He uses it defensively at first, absorbs Sloat's lightning, his power, and then he unleashes it, this huge blast of white light that illuminates everything, the whole altered geography of Point Venuti. It's like creation and destruction all at once.
And the effect is immediate. On his mother.
Instantly. Miles away, Lily is healed, just like that. From sick to well instantly, the text says. Color rushes back into her face. It's miraculous.
And the talisman itself? It changes.
It does. It becomes porous, almost see-through. And inside, Jack sees these tiny colored globes, other worlds, confirming its nature as the heart of all realities.
While this is happening, Richard.
Richard suddenly sees things clearly, too. He shouts a warning to Jack just as Sloat meets his end. A pretty grotesque end, actually. The evil is finally truly defeated.
So what happens then? The aftermath must be huge.
Oh, yeah. The Sunlight Home is burning back in Indiana, that symbolic cleansing. And in Point Venuti, there's this massive earthquake described like the beast in the earth roaring, like reality itself is settling back into place.
And Jack, Richard,
and Lily, they head home, and there's this wonderful, surreal image. The spirit of Wolf is somehow driving them in this Cadillac they found full of money, a strange, comforting final image of his loyalty.
bet everyone's changed.
Profoundly. Richard has found acceptance, Lily is healed, and they get one last message from Speedy, Parker, whatever you want to call him.
What does he say?
Just, all will be well. A sense of peace, finally, after everything. #tag outro.
Wow, what a journey. Jack Sawyer went through so much across worlds, facing down incredible evil, all driven by love for his mother. Arcadia Beach to the aging court. It's just immense.
The courage it took is staggering. And the stakes couldn't have been higher, literally the fate of multiple worlds.
Hopefully this deep dive has given you a good handle on it, all the intertwined realities, the territories, the twinners, the sheer personal cost, and ultimately the triumph in the Talisman and Black House.
It really is a story that digs deep into reality, connection, good, evil. All the big stuff.
Absolutely, and thinking about those connections.
Yeah, it does raise a fascinating question, doesn't it? This whole idea of twinners, of parallel lives being linked.
Mm-hmm.
So here's something to think about. If everyone really does have a counterpart, a twinner, out there in another reality, what kind of journey might your other self be on right now?
And maybe, just maybe, what could their struggles, their triumphs teach you about your own life? About courage, connection, things you haven't even considered.
Something to mull over. What lessons might be waiting just across the dimensional divide?